Um, well, Adrian, I don't think we've had a chance to chat before. So how are you liking life at Rovers? You've been here for a few months now.
Yes, it's started off pretty well. To be fair, it's always a challenge when you settle into a new environment. But I think settled in fairly well with players and staff alike. So yeah, hopefully it'll continue over the next few months anyway.
So just talk me through how it all came about, because I guess it's a small business, isn't it? Football, everybody knows everybody else after a while.
Yeah, definitely. We all know what happens in football, and I was down at Swansea City last year, and obviously there's a change of manager through the course of the summer, and as the football things work, like, you sort of move on. Like, so an opportunity came up when Graham got in contact, and came over and met up with Graham and the chief exec Martin, and yeah, I'm here.
And that's it. And I guess that's the frustrating thing as a coach. Well, not frustrating, it's just what you have to get used to, isn't it? That one change higher up the club can have a big knock-on effect throughout the rest of the coaching staff.
Yeah, it's the way football works, unfortunately. Like, whether it's me or anybody else, and around the boat, we all see it. We see it on the TV or hear it on the radio. Every week virtually that someone loses their jobs, but it might be a manager, but unfortunately with that, coaching staff are also affected, and if managers want to bring their own individuals in, that happens, and you leave your position, and then hopefully get a new position as soon as possible. And unfortunately for me, it was with Bristol Rovers, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, goalkeeping coach, how are you with what's happened so far? I guess the fact that it was you got the two new faces as the ones competing for the number one jersey. It was all a fresh start for all of you. You're all getting to know each other.
Yeah, obviously when I spoke to Graham in the summer, I think the sort of in previous years there'd been a number of goalkeepers that had represented Bristol Rovers over a period of time, and Graham wanted to sort of establish more continuity within that sort of position. And obviously the two guys that signed in through the summer have come in, and they're on permanent contracts, so they're here to be worked with over the period of time. So yeah, obviously Jordy came across from Holland in League Two in Holland, and Anzi, we know more about in his time with certainly with Reading in the Championship in recent years.
Absolutely. So every player always wants to get better. Every coach always wants players to get better. How are you with the way it started as far as the keepers are concerned?
Yeah, like I said, they need to settle into the new environment. Obviously, there's different challenges for all the goalkeepers. From Jordy's point of view, he's come to a new country, experiencing a new culture, etc. So there's always a bedding in period there. And a learning aspect, and although you look at him and his size and his physicality, etc., he is still only 23, and in goalkeeping terms that is young. I can always remember someone saying to me that goalkeepers don't generally mature until they're 25, 26, so there's still a couple of years for Jordy. So he's settling in, he's learning, he's doing well, and there's certainly room for improvement also from his side of things. Ansi obviously a little bit more experience, in his early 30s. Comes from the international background as well, so I've known Ansi from his sort of playing times at previous clubs, and I think he certainly will be a strong addition to the squad, and certainly to League One, and no doubt if things progress and we're able to push up the league and get into the Championship further down the line, he'll certainly be an established Championship goalkeeper also.
Yeah, and I guess his experience probably helped him, because it wouldn't have been a debut that you would want to look back on fondly with giving the penalty away, but he's responded well to that.
Yeah, these things happen in games. You've got to make decisions, and potentially he was a split second too late, and at the same time I've seen penalties given for that, and also I've seen penalties not given for that, but obviously on that particular day it didn't work out for him, but no, he's responded well, and always a good sign of a goalkeeper is how you respond, and with errors, unfortunately from a goalkeeping background, mistakes are part of the game. It's just how often you actually make them, but the biggest thing I look for is how you actually respond to that situation, and I think over the course of the last sort of 10 games he's been fairly consistent in his play.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a whole, I think it's 6 games unbeaten now for the team in general. That sort of feeling, that confidence, you can kind of see it through the team at the moment in the performances.
Yeah, definitely. If you're winning games, it's always a good thing to have around any environment, and certainly in the club, the boys have performed admirably well in certainly in the last month. I think we're unbeaten this month. at the moment, and hopefully that will continue tomorrow. But certainly the more games you win and more points you pick up throughout the course of the season, that would breed a lot of confidence. And they're a good, honest bunch of players here. That's what I found in my initial time here, who are willing to work hard and willing to develop and willing to want to better themselves. And with everybody's efforts throughout the club and the supporters, etc., hopefully we can all keep moving in one direction.
Okay, so home game this weekend. Rotherham would have been one of the pre-season favourites, certainly sort of yo-yoing between League One and the Championship recently. Maybe not had the start that they would have hoped for.
No, I think they lost a couple of players in the summer, so a couple of key players, etc. But they're a physical outfit, and they play fairly direct, but at the same time they can pass and move the ball a little bit as well in what they do. But we'll certainly have to be have our wits about us in defending a little bit of a direct style from the set plays, etc. So hopefully we'll continue what we've done so far.
Yeah, and round off what's been a good week, a couple of wins. You've got the no match next weekend. It'd be nice to go into that on the back of really positive news.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would round off a successful month, and last couple of weeks where we've had a couple of wins and the draw as well. Hopefully that will continue and we can keep adding points to our tally.